showtime! Woo! 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 Styling and profiling. Woo! It's live and in color. Woo!
Welcome to the Mafia Sports Report on the Buffalo Fan Base Network. I'm your host, Tommy, and I'm sitting by my main man, my Toucan Sam, the one they call the Apex Man, Mr. Mikey. What is today? Welcome to Miserable Monday.
Yes, it is too. I have not gotten over the loss.
Yeah.
And the more I watch, the more I get pissed off.
Yeah. Look, I'm so mad I didn't even get my intro right. Let me do it again. Welcome to the Mafia Sports Report. Tommy, to the highest degree to TOP from the 313 by my side is my main man. My Toucan Sam, the one they call the Apex Man, Mr. Mikey. Oh, welcome to Miserable Monday. Okay, so
it is too. I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
I'm telling you, your intro's jacked up.
I'm all thrown off. I'm gonna be real with you. I did a great video today, though. Like, when you have time, check it out. Mostly good responses. We lost a subscriber so far, and that's okay. That's all right. But there was a few people that and I was telling you before we went live that are still on the McDermott bandwagon, still believe in McDermott. And I asked the question, a very simple question, and I'll ask the chat and I'll ask anyone that's watching this later. How long is long enough? So we're in year 7. Is 8 years where you're going, okay, the Bills, I think they need to move on. 9, 10, 11. When is enough? Because we can be having this conversation in year 9, year 10. Year 11. I mean, it has to stop at some point.
It can't be year 11. If we haven't won a Super Bowl, that means Josh is in his early 30s by that time. We basically wasted our franchise quarterback's entire prime.
I get it. Get it. But I don't know with this. Listen, I worry about the Pagulas and this relationship they have with Sean McDermott. I do.
They've turned the whole kingdom over to him. Like, right. Terry Pagula doesn't do any press at all. Like, it's McDermott during the season. It's Bean in the postseason.
Yep, absolutely. Sophia, thank you so much for the super chat. You are right, Tommy. McDermott must go. And I'm not saying fire him now. I'm not saying that. But I think it's time. The time is now. Once again, I don't want you guys to get this confused. I think McDermott, what he's done here for this team, for this city, he's done a good thing. He brought this team back from the dead. I get that. I applaud him for that. But his time is done. I'm sorry. And I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be the Debbie Downer. And listen, if this was year 3 of McDermott, I would totally get you guys going saying, oh, come on, man. You can't do that. It's 3 years in. I would say, you know what? I get your point. But we're in year 7 and he's regressing. We're getting worse. Players are speaking out. Players aren't happy. The locker room's a disaster. We got players fighting with fans after the game. By the way, I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah.
It's getting bad, guys. Okay, and if he's starting to lose the fans, damn well he's losing the locker room. Because losing is not fun. This team has not been a losing regular season team, though it's been a losing playoff team. But now we're a losing regular season team. It's not good, guys. And it starts from the top. They need a leader. And if you guys are okay with Ken Dorsey being fired, why aren't you okay with the guy in charge that's leading this group of guys? Or why aren't you okay with him being fired? It's year 7. At least Ken Dorsey had an excuse. He was new. It's only been a year and a half. What is McDermott's excuse at this point, year 7? None.
Injuries. I'm telling you, why is that point?
Oh, he's going to point at that maybe, but I'm not buying into it because there was no injuries in 2021 when we had the 13-second disaster, right? There was no injuries in 2020.
We were missing Trey in 2021.
Okay, but Trey's not. He wasn't. If we were missing Josh Allen, I would say okay, but Trey wasn't the reason why we lost. I'm saying 13 seconds. That's not.
Here's what I think is going to happen. I think they're going to keep him to the end of the year. They're going to sit down. They're going to rehash. He's gonna point out the levels of success that they've had and the injury-riddled defense that he had this year. So unless Josh or Stefon or Von Miller walks into Terry Pickle's office and says, "You need to make a change," it's not going to happen.
I get it. I know it's not. They gave him an extension to start the season, and he did nothing. Yeah, like I really wonder would they have given the extension at this point?
Probably not. How do you? That extension's looking awful bad right now.
right. So it's like, oh my God. And then I got to thinking more and more and more about last night's game, which we'll dial into. I'm just so frustrated with the 22nd. First of all, he burnt the timeout, so we'd have had two. And I don't know if you saw the press conference. Ridiculous.
I did.
What he said there. You idiot, right? You moron. You're the one that fucking took the timeout because he talked about the Lions game where we had 3 timeouts, 27 seconds. And he said, "Oh, we had all 3 timeouts." Bro, you made one play and it pretty much we were in field goal range. It took you 10 seconds. So what was the problem there? Like, you don't trust Josh Allen? Okay, the weather, I don't know. Josh looked fine to me in that game. So what were you afraid of? Oh, because you have no balls, because you are conservative, because you shrivel at the worst times. You go hide in the corner like you haven't been here before. And it's crazy to me that he didn't give him the opportunity. That was one thing that just blew my mind. And I really wasn't even that mad about it last night. I brought it up. But really today, I'm just like, what are you doing? And then I got to thinking about it. Why not go for it on 4th and 6 in overtime at that point? I don't trust you. Do you really trust the defense at that point? You know they're going to go down and score a touchdown. At that point, fuck it. Go for it. Because you're not stopping them. You clearly aren't. You know you aren't. We haven't stopped one team yet this year when they had except for maybe the Tampa Bay Bucks, the Giants. Both lucky.
Yeah.
Lives that could have went really bad. Okay. Just a heads up.
Godwin turns around, much like Davis last night. If Davis just turns around and finds the ball, game's over.
Yeah, I watched that play over and over. I have no idea why Gabe Davis would think.
He was running the route. Gabe Davis said it in his press conference. He said, "I ran the route that was called." Me and Josh said it was a 50-50. I threw the seam thinking he saw that it was a cover 0.
Yep.
He didn't. I guessed wrong.
Yeah.
That was Josh being nice, not throwing Gabe under the bus.
But Gabe has to realize too, and I get that.
But
he also realized that there was nobody in the middle
of the field.
Like, dude, why would you go to the outside corner when why would he throw it there? You're by the sideline. Go to a wide open area. That's probably where Josh is going. Come on, Gabe. You've been here a long time. Should know. Yeah, you should know what Josh. You just should have that connection going. And I've seen you have that connection. All of a sudden, you forgot.
Not this year. This year, they have not been on the same page at all.
No, absolutely not.
Somebody's blaming me. Michael Irvin said it on this morning. He's like, listen, as a wide receiver and a cover 0, you read that. The first thing you do is you turn your head and find the ball.
Yeah.
Gabe Davis never looked back. That was the problem.
Let me get to some chats. I'm missing them. I'm so sorry. Normally Mikey does this, but he can't.
Not on Mondays.
Different. Yeah.
Not on Mondays.
What's up? What's up, Dallas? What's up? I'm gonna get to all your chats real quick before we go going because I feel bad now. What's up, boys? Still can't believe you lost that game. Yeah, I mean, I can. I'll be honest with you. I can kind of believe it. Oh my God, my heart hurts.
Yours and mine both, Beth.
Let's see here. Callie Blitz, my man, dude. Hey, Callie, man, I appreciate everything you've done for this channel. You've been loyal subscriber. All of you guys, but Thank you, Callie. I've been saying get rid of Sean McDermott since 2020. I've been saying since the end of 2021, and not even say get rid of him. I raised the question at that time.
You put him on the hot seat.
I put him on the hot seat before anyone pretty much did. Beth B, Tommy, Mikey, what the fuck was that BS? I'm thinking she's talking about the 22nd. Justin, did you see McD after he was asked, what do the players do after a gut-punching loss? Stand up, gentlemen. Oh, okay. Thanks, Sean McDermott. Stand up. Triggs, McDermott talks about his defense playing with grit, resilience. Meanwhile, your quarterback shows more grit and resilience in the fourth quarter than you do. Excellent point. Allen elevates and McDermott folds all the time. That's the thing. That's what he does best. He folds. Atlas King against Detroit last year. McDermott goes for it. One play, bomb to Diggs, kick the winning field goal. This year, with the playoffs on the line, he pussies out and calls a kneel down. Exactly my point.
You know what? Speaking of that, did you hear Josh Allen's response? I was so pissed when he fed us the company line. It was the right call. You know, in his gut that
of course,
he was pissed. Like, I don't even think he could say it with a straight face. He looked pissed when he was saying it.
Yeah. Atlas Davis had the worst 100-yard game. It's sad because he actually had a good game. If he catches that, we're all sitting here saying, man, Gabe Davis came through. But you're right. You're right in a way. Davis had a 100-yard game, 50% catch rate. That is Bush League. It's unacceptable. And it's been that pattern with him since rookie year. Yeah. Really, this has been his worst year. I got to be honest with you. This is a bad year for Gabe Davis. Jason, I made a bet with my wife that at halftime, I better a back rub that Buffalo would blow the lead and lose. Well,
you won. You got that. I hope you enjoyed that back rub. Maybe that made you feel better about the game.
All right, I caught up with the chats.
Yeah, it's so bad. Like, Tommy, it's gotten worse as I listened. Like, I would start listening to different clips, and I'd have to turn it off because it just re-pissed me off. Like, I couldn't even listen to it all.
Yeah, I saw a great quote. I don't know if you see it on the bottom today. And I said, man, I wish McDermott would go with that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, why chase this thing called winning? The only thing guaranteed if you don't chase it is losing. And how does Coach McDermott coach? He coaches not to lose. He doesn't coach to win. And that's gonna, I should make a t-shirt, man. Of McDermott in the back says that saying, because that's his career in Buffalo. Like, he's done good, but he also is just the way he is.
Listen,
this will never change.
We have broken so many records on negative. Someone said that in here earlier. I don't know who it was.
I saw
we've been on the negative side of these record games. That how do you justify that as a head coach?
Right here, Justin says that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a negative way.
Yeah.
How do you justify that as the head coach and then say that you're out to win games and then take a knee with 20 seconds left? You know what that told me? He didn't trust Josh Allen.
Yeah. Miles, there is, I'm going to be honest with you. I've never seen a Twitter. I don't know how, like, it doesn't come up on StreamYard. We only see the YouTube chats. So anyone like chatting in Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, it doesn't come through on StreamYard, so I can't see it. So I'm sorry if you're on Twitter right now. You're gonna have to go to YouTube if you want to chat with us. If you at least want us to see what you're saying. So,
it doesn't. The Twitter doesn't come over.
No, it doesn't come over. Nope, it's just YouTube.
That sucks.
Yeah. I just learned that like not too long ago. So because somebody said the same thing, I'm like, it never comes through. So,
Callie, Frank Wright's available. He's available for a reason, though.
Right, and that I don't know what to think about that.
Frank needs a year off.
Yeah, he definitely, and I think he said that he does. I think he needs a break, and good for him.
Reset.
He's had a tough. I think he can be a good coach. I've seen him be a good coach with the Colts, but I would like to honestly see him come back as an OC just for 1 year or 2 years with the team, kind of build his reputation back up again, and get another opportunity as a head coach somewhere else. Now, he may just come back and get a head coaching job. Who knows, but I would prefer, I think that would be best, or go the college route and do that for a year or two, see if he likes that. Because who knows? Maybe that's what he wants to do. But I don't know if I'd feel comfortable with hiring him right away as a head coach.
I don't think he should. I think he should take a year, regroup, come back, and be the offensive coordinator, and then be the head coach. Because he's gonna have to be an OC again before he gets another head coach.
Exactly. I think so too.
Cannon back-to-back years. Scott comes in and says the marriage between McDermott and Josh is about to end. It's run its course. I sure the hell hope so. And it's not Josh that's leaving.
No, exactly.
Because I'll tell you this: if they picked McDermott over Allen and they traded Allen and kept McDermott, I'm not sure I could root for a team that does that.
Yeah.
With how bad McDermott's been this year.
Carolina, they also got you could blame the GM for going undersized quarterback who I
wouldn't say they had a powerhouse offense. I don't think they've had a
they were better, but they also had a different quarterback and mature veteran. I don't know about.
They also had Donta Foreman running
they had a different team.
Different.
This was almost like a rebuild, and they know anytime you get let me tell you, anytime you get a top 5 pick and it's a quarterback, you're rebuilding. Okay, it's gonna take a couple years, 2-3 years to get your team right. So I don't know why Carolina rushed it, but maybe they just felt like he wasn't the guy, and that's okay. I don't hate that.
I like Beth. I like Beth's comment.
Beth's comment right here on the bottom. Okay.
Yeah. Fire McDermott, hire Frazier the head coach, keep Joe Brady as the OC, and give Bobby Babich the DC.
I want to do it. Frazier, I like him. I do. He's a good guy. But
if he's just the captain,
I feel like he's just so soft spoken. He just doesn't. He had his opportunity in Minnesota. I don't know. I'm not saying the soft spoken thing is like the thing, but I just don't know if he could be that leader. He just doesn't. I don't know. I don't know if he has that quality to be.
He relates to the players.
He does. You're right, but man, wouldn't that be something? I don't think that'll ever like that.
I don't think it'll happen either. But man, could you I could see that type of move.
I don't I still want to on him.
I mean, if we're gonna start over, let's bring in somebody. But if they want to keep some sort of semblance, they could. If the players liked McDermott, they could sell Frazier being the head coach because all of them loved him.
I think if we let go of McDermott, it's time to get an offensive minded head coach.
That means Brady's probably out the door too.
That's fine. Listen, it's only been 2 games, and he is technically it's not his offense. Technically, it's still Ken Dorsey's offense and Dable / Ken Dorsey, but really right. So we don't know yet. Let's wait and let's slow down and let's see what happens the next 5 games. Though I will say the first 2 games, I am impressed what Joe Brady has done. Has it been perfect offensive football? No, but we've gone against 2 very good defenses, and it's actually been pretty damn good compared to what we saw. I mean, week 1 through week 10, except for maybe
30 plus
2 games. Exactly. So against tough teams. It's not like this is, the Giants or the Patriots, whatever, like the teams that are just.
And that's with his offense of players failing a lot of times because, he dialed up that right play where we threw the ball down the sidelines to Cook and he dropped it, which would have been a touchdown. Did you even realize? Did you know they benched Cook for 15 plays after that?
I didn't know they benched him.
I am so over McDermott only punishing.
Shouldn't do that either. Yeah, that's crazy.
The only person he punishes is James Cook. That's it.
It's not like come on, man. It wasn't. And you don't do that. Honestly, fumbling. Not that you punish players, but I think you. I understand. Hey, man, especially younger players, but you would never do that with a veteran like Stefon Diggs. You're not going to punish Stefon Diggs, right? You're not going to punish Josh Allen for throwing an interception. And James Cook is no longer a rookie, right? He doesn't need to be taught a lesson. You know what I'm saying? James Cook understands that he shouldn't drop a pass. He gets that. He's not a rookie. He knows he shouldn't fumble. It's, but it is what it is. That's what Sean McDermott does, but he does it with certain players, and he doesn't do it with everybody. I mean, why would you not take Jordan Phillips out when he's out of control and nearly costing us. By the way, I told you last night there should have been a foul, a personal what do they call that? What do they call that foul? Unnecessary roughness by him.
Yeah.
When he was a late hit. So Jordan Phillips been out of control, by the way, all year. Pulling face mask when he shouldn't, pushing players late, and McDermott still throws them out there. He doesn't punish Jordan Phillips. So I think McDermott likes to pick on certain guys, and it's the younger guys. I think he attacks the younger guys for the most part.
It's bullshit.
Yeah,
It's what it is. It's bullshit. Did you hear Jordan Mailata, the tackle for the Eagles? Remember last year when we played the Vikings and Patrick Peter came out and said they're so predictable. I knew exactly what they were going to do.
Yep.
Jordan Mailata said the same thing about the defense. He said on that.
Yeah, I know. I heard.
That touchdown run. He's like, I couldn't believe they gave us that look. I knew exactly what they were doing. We knew he was going to walk in.
Right. Yeah. We saw.
What happened? What happened to the days of disguising our coverage? Like we don't do that anymore.
I have no idea. I like we said last night. I think McDermott gets outcoached a lot, and I think once I just feel like the pressure gets to him, especially the pressure, and I just think he folds, man. He calls unnecessary timeouts. Like you see a lot of things he doesn't do when games are tight. You know what I mean? When games are going good and we got the lead, you notice like things are going right. First half, everything's running smoothly, right? For the most part. Now we had some mistakes on offense. I get that, but there wasn't like on the defensive side of things, everything was smooth. But once Philly adjusted and they got back in the game, that's where you saw McDermott starting to get get under pressure, start, what do I do? Right? Like, and that's where he starts to become a bad coach. That's where he starts to get outcoached. He doesn't do any in-game adjustments. It's like he loses his way. Like, you know what I mean? Like he just loses all sense. And it's crazy to me, man.
It is. Also, though, there were someone just put it in there. Did they say they benched him? No, but if you look right after the drop, he was out for 15 straight plays. They did the same thing after the fumble. So that just kind of tells you everything you need. But Diggs, you talked about Diggs yesterday on third downs being on the sidelines.
Yeah.
I listened to Buffalo Plus and a couple other places, and they said there was some grumbling from Diggs about being out on third down. So it wasn't Diggs. For whatever reason.
I told you. Like I found it very hard to believe.
And then all of a sudden in the second half, he wasn't on the sidelines anymore. On third downs.
I told you. I found it very hard to believe when you told me, well, maybe I couldn't picture that. Like,
well, I've seen Diggs take himself out on plays, even on a third down. But I've seen him do it
back to like. It seemed like it was a lot in the first half,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Like,
So that makes me wonder: was that one of the coaches on the field that did that? Was that Joe Brady who called for that? I mean, because all this
Joe Brady.
I don't think it was. Joe was up in the box. And right after halftime, you never saw Diggs leave the field again.
Yeah, that who knows? We'll never. That probably won't come out.
We'll never talk about it.
Right. Trent Sherfield running the wrong routes he did, and that might be because he's just not been really used anyways in this offense, and he just
take Diggs off the field and put Trent Sherfield.
He shouldn't be in there. I don't even get that. A guy that we haven't even used.
Yeah.
Now, all of a sudden, in an important fucking game, we're using Trent Sherfield in important situations. By the way, listen, if that was a second down or what I would get it. I would say, all right, I like it. You got to, maybe we're trying to mix it up, get different players involved, which I said we should do. But my God, not on third down. What are you doing? You're going to Trent Sherfield of all people? Why go to Khalil Shakir? What about Dalton Kincaid? By the way, Kincaid
disappeared in the second half again. They stopped targeting him.
They stopped targeting him.
Yeah, they do it every 3 straight games now.
No idea
why. He catches he has 6 targets in the first half, catches 5 of them for 40, 50 yards, and then in the second half, they just go away from him.
What do you think about Lenny Fournette? You think he's coming after the bye?
I do.
I would think so. What do you got to lose at this point, right?
Yeah.
We need. I mean, God damn, dude. Like, pull out all the stops, I guess. I mean, honestly, you got 5 games left, right? Like
I know you love Latavius, but he was the worst of the 3 backs yesterday.
He wasn't too good, but he also I thought he made some decent plays. But I agree, maybe his age showing, maybe he's been running a little bit more.
Yeah, he's slowing down. He's a little bit older.
But but I did say that to you too. Going into if we make the playoffs, it would be good to have Fournette available because maybe Murray's tired by then. It's been a long season. Murray probably ran the ball more than maybe he even wanted to at times. You know what I mean? So I don't know, but it's always good to have that extra player because that's the whole point of having Harris, right? It was Harris, it was Murray, and it was Cook. That was the whole 3 running backs we were supposed to use. Well, Harris is out. So, yeah, Fournette needs to be in here 100%, man.
Yes, Vaughn did play yesterday.
Man.
And he didn't, he didn't even register.
I'm almost thinking, bro, there was a play I saw. I don't know if you saw it.
Yeah, where he here's the thing. That play, the one that was making its round on
where he ran into where he ran back in the middle.
It's called a pick stunt. He goes in and takes the tackle, and then the D tackle comes around.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, it just looks.
Everyone, it looked like he wasn't even attacking the quarterback, but he's not supposed to.
But it was a setup play for the. Yeah, I get you. Okay.
Yeah.
But either way, I will say this about Vaughn. Either way, I think he's hurting us more than he's helping. I don't see it. I'd rather have AJ out there. Let's get Von Miller right. Like honestly, I would have sat him this game. Then you had the bye week, right, where he can, get more time, and then you come back and play the Chiefs. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think we brung him back too early. I don't know what is going on. He's still just not. It's not right. It's not right. And why would you have a player out there that's not right when you have players like AJ Epinesa who's actually having a decent
group?
Pretty good, right? Group. Like, get guys out there that are capable of doing the job right now that Von's not. And I hate to say that. Von's a great player, man. It sucks that he got hurt.
First ballot Hall of Famer.
But
he's not you
gotta play, right. And McDermott is always the guy saying we're gonna play the guys that that deserves to be on the field. Well, does Von deserve to be on the field right now? I would say no. He's not ready. It's not a shot at Von.
Yeah, Shaq looks better than him right now.
Absolutely. So I just, once again, that goes back to Sean McDermott being stubborn, doing what he wants to do.
Triggs has in here trade for Brian Burns in the offseason. You don't have to. Brian Burns is going to be a free agent in the offseason. However, I don't think we have the money to pay Brian Burns the money that he's looking for. He's going to be looking for $25 million a year, $25 million.
Yeah, we don't. And that's the other thing. We don't have a lot of money going to the offseason. Not this season. Next season we will. The following.
Well, I have a feeling you're going to see a major roster shakeup at the end of this year. We'll free up enough money to go out and sign guys, but we won't be freeing up enough money.
There's going to be some favorite players cut.
There's going to be a lot of, especially on the defense. You're going to see a lot of guys go on this defense.
I agree. Roy, Ty Johnson fall for extra. You know what? I got to say, I liked what he did in preseason. And I told Mikey, I'm like, it's not bad.
But we pumped the brakes because it was the third and fourth teams.
Correct.
But he's looked good in all his opportunities.
He's fought for the extra yards. He actually has pretty decent speed. He could go between the tackles pretty good. So yeah, I don't mind what I'm seeing from Ty, but I do want to see Fournette out there. Jason, I don't understand why Buffalo couldn't use college plays. A lot of the plays I've seen in OSU versus Michigan would work in phenomenal way for Buffalo. College is different, man. You know that. College is a.
I also think Dorsey wasn't creative enough to do something like that.
Oh no. Yeah.
Joe Brady, I can very, very much see someone who would do something like that, but he hasn't had any time to do anything. It's been quick turnarounds. And so we won't see any kind of offensive scheme changes,
right?
Outside of little wrinkles where we see motion and misdirection, but true scheme changes we won't see until an offseason.
Exactly. Yeah, I think and that also, if they keep Joe Brady, maybe he does implement that into his offense. Though,
go back and grab that LSU offense, dude.
Right. But here's the real question. This is the one we've been asking all along. Does Sean McDermott even want that kind of offense? Does Sean McDermott, want to stick with conservative football, which seems to be what he wants and likes? And that will shut the door instantly on any kind of creativity, college style fun kind of ball into the offense. I think that's the real reason why him and Dable clearly didn't get along. Mm-hmm. And yeah, we're button heads. And listen, here's the facts. The facts is this: McDermott never could fire Brian Dable because Brian Dable had a good offense. This offense was actually good. It was ranked, defenses didn't want to play us. They knew what kind of offense we brought in, week out. So if you fire Brian Dable out of the blue, fans would be angry. Nobody would accept that. So the fact, trust me, when Brian Dable left after 2022, he loved it. Trust me. He went and got a young guy in Ken Dorsey who had no experience, that was going to be a yes man. And there you go. And he said, yeah, this is what we're going to do. And I truly believe that. And I think Joe Brady's in the same boat, guys. Think about it.
I don't know.
OC who's fresh at it.
I've seen Joe Brady do some things Dorsey never did.
But can you see him?
He dropped back 50 plus times yesterday.
No, I get it. But would he have the balls as a Brian Dable to step up and say, no, man, I'm going to do it my way? Like, I don't know the guy like that. I'm just saying I don't see it because he is a younger coach. Now, I could be wrong, and maybe we will. Maybe we'll see a different – if Joe Brady sticks around, maybe you will see a different offense next year. I just feel like right now
I think we're looking
it's too early to say.
It's a different offense the last 2 weeks than what we had before.
It is but I'm talking about creativity, a different kind of offensive game plan. Like scrap out pretty much what we've been doing and let Joe Brady or whoever comes in have his own offense. And if Josh Allen doesn't like it, Stefon, listen, you got to make it work. Whatever works, whatever puts points on the board, that's how we got to get it done. Like, I don't care anymore what Josh wants. Like, let's just get a guy that knows what he's doing in here.
Triggs, I'm with you. I don't believe Joe Brady's a yes man because he had that same problem with Rule in Carolina. It's part of the reason why he got canned. Is because Rule wanted to have a certain type of offense, and Joe Brady's like, that offense doesn't work. You don't have the players for that.
maybe. Listen, it's possible. I don't know, but I can tell you that McDermott gave him the job. Right? When he fired Ken Dorsey, he could have chose anyone. He could have chose Shula. So I'm sure that he spoke to Joe Brady and said, hey, this is what I want. Now, did Joe Brady go, hey, we don't know this. Maybe Joe Brady said, hey, I'll take it, but I want to do things my way. Very possible. I don't know. I'm not behind the closed doors, but I'm just saying I don't think we'll truly know until the following season if he stays on as OC, if this offense is more creative, a little bit like of Dable's type of fun offense in there mixed in. Or it goes back to what we saw this year, which is more conservative football. So I'm just saying, like right now, maybe it's very possible that McDermott's going, you know what? Fuck it. What do I got to lose? Just do your thing. You know what I'm saying? Like we got what at this point, who cares what I want, right? Maybe. I don't know. So
yesterday's game was very much the old offense. Josh Allen running and throwing and being a monster.
Yeah.
They truly took the shackles off of Josh Allen.
They were the 28th ranked pass defense. Like we should have passed. And I said that, and I know,
but not in the rain. Weather. They don't usually.
No, I get that. I get that. But we did it with Dable sometimes. Now sometimes Dable did it on stupid. Really, like I don't think it was raining. Like a Buffalo type where it's windy. Like Allen was still getting the ball out pretty good. I don't think it was affecting his passes like in Buffalo, wind, rain, you know what I mean? Snow. But yeah, I agree. Like, Norris guys were winning out, making playoffs. I hope, man.
Hit Spence right above that. It says the Bills can win out and still miss the playoffs because we lose all tiebreakers. The Bills can win out and still win the division. Talk about crazy. Because Miami's last 3 games are Baltimore, brutal. Dallas, us.
And listen, people could talk all they want about Buffalo. And by the way, we did get some comments from Philly fans today that I responded to. I will say, for the most part, pretty good people. I had no, like, they weren't like, just, being idiots on the chat, right? Their comments or whatever. They weren't trolling. But there were some that were like, Josh Allen, he's so my question is this, and for all the people, even Bills Mafia, we have some Bills fans here last night that was like, oh, Josh Allen, boo, he lost. Hypothetically, if we win that game, let's say we do, let's say Philly, do you still think Josh Allen had a bad game?
No.
Again, that's a real question. No, not you. I'm talking the people that said, like anyone that's in here that happens to be in here tonight, that said Josh Allen was the reason why we lost, typical Josh, because we saw that. Remember, we were like, hey, what are you talking about? Josh Allen actually played very good except for the one turnover. I question is, if we win that game, is just Josh Allen still sucked? Did he have a bad game? No, you're not going to say that. You're saying that in the heat of the moment. You're mad. The one guy you want to point your finger at happens to be Josh Allen. And he gets that a lot.
He's the easy target.
He's the easy target. That's my point. And then, the guy, one of the Philly fan, and he said, oh, Josh ain't no Jalen Hurts. I said, listen, if you guys go on to lose that game, you aren't talking that way. You know what you're talking? You're going to your Philly channels, and all they're complaining about is how the first half he looked terrible and there was interception and fumble. So it goes both ways. I told him it was a dog fight. It was a great fight. But I said, you know how you guys won? You out-coached us, and our defense melted down. Yeah, that's it. And you out-coached us, really. And our defense had a meltdown. It had nothing to do with Josh Allen.
Yeah, I heard one of them, and I don't remember where I heard it. It said, everyone's talking about, Jalen Hurts, the best things inside spread. Jalen Hurts was fantastic yesterday in the second half.
Sure, in the second half,
but
yes.
Josh Allen was the best player on that field. Jalen Hurts wasn't even the best player on his own team yesterday.
Absolutely. I agree.
Like, Jalen Hurts is he embodies what that team is, and he's perfect for that team.
Yeah.
But he has the best offensive line in football.
Right.
And is surrounded by nothing but studs.
Yeah. By the way, Triggs, I'm giving him criticism. I did a video today, and it's blowing up. So trust me, I'm giving him criticism. We do got a super chat. I'll get to that real quick. Yep. Josh, Eagles fan here. Hey, I was just talking about you guys. Yeah. Alan, Eagles fan here. Allen was the best player on the field all day. He needs an offensive-minded coach to better him. Thank you, Josh. I appreciate that.
I do agree with that.
Honesty. Listen, and I appreciate you being humble, by the way.
Yeah.
I always tell people that, man. The one thing I don't do, like, we may be happy after a win, me and Mikey is humble as well. But we don't come on here and we don't bash.
Oh, we smoked them. They suck.
Yeah. Fucking this guy sucks. This fucking now I'll say, hey, Mac Jones, I don't like that. But I've been saying that since day one. But I don't go and troll. I don't say like unnecessary things. So I appreciate the people that are humble. And by the way, that takes you a long way. Because I said it to Minnesota fans last year when they were on this channel trolling, and I said, hey, okay, remember this. Remember this is going to bite you in the ass. And sure enough, it bit him in the ass.
So let me ask you this question. I see this one in here from Bring It On Home. Bring It On Home. It's up a little bit. Will the Bills rest Josh Allen if they're mathematically eliminated from playoffs? I don't see Allen resting. I don't see Allen resting at all.
I don't see.
Yeah,
I don't think so either.
I just can't. He's not that type of. He's not built that way.
Trick says no. I mean, McDermott is getting no criticism by the media.
They're I know.
Blaming Josh.
They always blame Josh. The media because they have to fuel their narrative that Josh Allen isn't as good as.
I'll tell you who doesn't though. I'll tell you who doesn't. And y'all don't like him, but Colin Cowherd has said repeatedly that our coaching has failed this team, and that Sean McDermott has hit his ceiling. Yeah, and Rich Eisen as well. So it's not all media. At least, like I said, I don't agree with everything.
ESPN and Fox Sports 1.
Exactly. Well, he's on FS1.
Yeah,
Colin,
even Nick Wright.
But he's the most. I think he's very close. Like, You know what I mean? Like I agree with at least half his takes, which is crazy, right? You know,
Nick Wright was on there and said Sean McDermott had malpractice yesterday. He said, "How do you not trust?" Like he's like, I would understand if Josh, because Nick Wright's always about the roller coaster, right?
Oh yeah,
he loves the bash on Josh. He's like, Josh was on one of his heaters. How do you not give him a shot?
Yeah,
like we saw good Josh Allen yesterday.
Yeah,
it's just like. It's bad when Nick Wright is the one that's, calling it out. But there's not very many of them. ESPN is all over, Josh Allen sucks.
And by the way, Miles, my buddy, he's my buddy. So I'm not, but you don't, when you read the comments, you understand what I'm talking about. So I know a troll. I know when someone's being outrageous, I know. And that's all I'm going to say about that. It's not about listen, you can disagree with me all day. You can agree with me all day. It's this channel and every channel and every national media. You can agree or disagree. That's what it's there for. It's opinion based. None of what I'm saying, you don't have to take as fact. It's just my opinion. It's Mikey's opinion. Not everything I say Mikey agrees with. Not everything Mikey says I agree with. Yeah. But I'm not, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the fan that comes on and says, stupid things like Josh Allen, worst quarterback in the league. Kyle Allen should play, or Buffalo Bills 4 Super Bowls, no rings. Like stupid comments like that I've heard forever and ever. Yeah. Nonsense. That has nothing to do with anything. So.
Yeah. Yesterday, my thing is just be respectful when you come in here. Yes. You can come in and boast about your team.
Yeah.
Just be respectful. Like yesterday, one of them started talking about someone's mama, and I'm like, okay, you got to go.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that too. Like I said, listen, we don't care if people come on here and want to boast a little bit about their victory.
You know what? That Eagles team is legit. They're probably going to represent the East or the NFC again this year. It's them and the Niners.
Right. But ain't no Eagles fan, and I'll say this too. And by the way, there's no fan in general this season that could come in here and say, "Oh my God, we smoked the Buffalo Bills. Y'all sorry ass." But every game we've been in, every single game has been a dogfight, and it came down to the last 5 minutes of the game. Every single game. And not a lot of teams can say that. And I'm not saying, we should be proud of that. I'm just saying that teams can't come on. Like Philly, that's why I'm saying I didn't get a lot of Philly troll or haters because they knew they were in a dogfight. That was a 9-1 football team.
Yeah.
We were what was our record? 1 game over 500? I mean, guys, you know what I mean? Like, we were not supposed to win that game in Philadelphia. I don't know who had us to win, right? So they can't just go back and be like, "Oh, that was an easy win. Y'all suck ass." That's just not true. If you really watch the game, that's not true.
Miles says, "What about Zach Wilson? Someone likes him. Is that trolling?" No. But if you come in and tell me that Zach Wilson's better than Josh Allen, that's trolling.
Yeah, or Zach Wilson owns Josh Allen, like this ridiculous comment. But by the way, Miles is huge on Zach Wilson. Like he loves Zach Wilson.
That's great.
And that's fine. Yeah, but he's turning into a Bills fan, he told me, which is cool. But I have my feelings about Zach Wilson, and so do Jets fans, by the way. So if you really want to go hear about Zach Wilson, I would highly recommend you go to Jets content channels, Jet podcasts, because they're killing him. We don't sit here and kill Zach Wilson. I'm just telling you. So,
Steve Lynn, what's going on, Steve? I usually like his takes. Jalen has a crap half and wins. Josh plays like Superman, consistently loses at the end of the game because we don't have a second star other than Diggs to make a play or enough studs on D to make a stop. Yeah, it's just the way it is. The Eagles team is deeper than the Bills team, and it proved out yesterday. At the end of the day, they were there. Always spin would come in with your mama. Good news is the Bills have unleashed J17. If we have enough time, we could put on. Yeah, I just don't know if we have enough time. I hope so. I mean, we still got to go to Kansas City and then have Dallas come home. Then we got the Chargers, Patriots, Dolphins. So
we really need some luck on our side. I'm going to be real with you. We need a little bit of luck on our side. I will say this though:
I just can't see
the Dolphins to win the division. The Dolphins really have to wet the bed. I'm gonna be real with you.
No, the Dolphins have to lose their final 3 games. They have to lose to Baltimore, the Cowboys,
now, Baltimore
and then
could happen. Baltimore's
Cowboys,
a tough team.
Cowboys
can bring the defense and really knock you around.
If we win out, and
I understand, we could win the
division by the tiebreaker,
which would be unbelievable. And you want to talk about some angry Dolphin content creators? If you think we're angry,
they've already buried us.
Holy crap, that would be like, I might even go and listen to a Dolphins podcast because, and I never listen to any other team's podcast, but I may have to want to hear what they have to say if that happens. That would be an epic collapse because they're way up right now. But yeah, I mean, can it happen? Yes, but we have to play. I'm going to be real with you, Mikey. Perfect football, pretty much. Our coach has to get his head out of his ass. Which Kenny? I don't know.
I don't see it happening.
Right.
Like, it's possible. Mathematically, it's still there. But I have yet to see them prove that they can do it.
Right. I mean, man. It
would be great, wouldn't it? If they won out, man, that'd be fantastic.
Like this is the Eagles game turns out to be the Tampa game of 2021.
That would be awesome.
Right. And we go on this got this epic run. You know what I mean? But I'm just super concerned, man. I'm super concerned with this team, with this coach. And I'm also concerned about the locker room. I really am. I don't know if everyone is truly happy in there.
How can you be happy? Yeah. How can you be happy with what the coach did? The coach told the offense, "I don't trust you. Take a knee."
Right.
He didn't go for the win. How can you be happy with that?
I agree. Well, now that there's also players that aren't being played that are being benched. You know what I mean? Like we got guys that we just Poona Ford.
Jordan Phillips has played like ass all year, and he's still playing over Poona Ford. Yeah. Tim Settle finally did something yesterday. He got a sack. He registered something.
I couldn't, and it was like barely a sack.
Yeah, it was really Ed Oliver's sack, but they gave it to Settle. But still, like, and we have Poona Ford just sitting on the bench.
True fan, 78. I'm a lifelong Dolphins fan, 35 years. I never miss a game. This is a different Dolphins team. We're complete, and he capitalized that, on every side. We won't lose the last 3. This year, I know you meant the AFC East belongs to Miami. And listen, I'm going to tell you right now, you have a very solid team. I don't know if it's complete. I think your offensive line's a little shaky. I think your defense at times gets shaky. You should know this because you've been watching, you said 35 years, and I believe you. I've been watching my team since 89, and I'll tell you all the flaws we have on this team right now. But if you're going to be real, I don't know if your guys are complete. Like, you got to be real with yourself here. Like I said, your defense is a little shaky at times. Your offensive line, you've been in some close games. You've also got smoked by some good teams, including the Buffalo Bills early on in the season. They
haven't beat a good team yet.
That's what I'm saying. So these last 3 games, I wouldn't be so sure of you guys just squashing Baltimore, Cowboys, and Buffalo, because we beat you once. I'm just throwing that out there, and I'm not bragging about that. That's not a Super Bowl. I don't brag here about regular season games, okay? But I'm just saying it's not an easy 3 games left. And I'm also saying it's not an easy 5 games left for us. Like, we're in a lot of trouble.
One more loss and we're done.
Right. We're just trying to be somewhat, I guess, optimistic here. That's all. I'm not, and I'm not by the way, you guys have a real, honestly, you got what you guys done there, is good. There's no doubt about it. You guys offense, I mean, I like what you're doing on offense. You got fast. Tua's playing better. You're protecting him at times. He's understanding to get rid of the ball quick because his offensive line is a little shaky still. So I'm not going to knock what you're doing. It's just, I wouldn't say you're well-rounded in every area. If I was going to say, what is the most well-rounded team right now? If we were going to give one, like Eagles. You were to sit back and go, Eagles. I would say Eagles and maybe the 49ers.
Yeah,
I think
Eagles and San Francisco are probably the most well-rounded.
Okay.
If Kansas City's offense gets their head out of their butts, Kansas City will be, because their defense is really good.
Kansas City?
If their receivers start holding on to the ball, they would be well-rounded too, because that defense is really good.
I don't think they will, because they don't. The thing is with the Chiefs this year, the receivers just aren't.
Yeah, I'm saying doing it. If they actually hold on to the ball, they would be one of the more well-rounded.
And I think Hardman went on IR too for them.
Yeah, Baltimore's defense is elite. Their offense is good, but it's taken a hit in their receiving threats with Andrews going down for the year, and their receivers are up and down.
Right. So Scott, real quick. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead.
So basically, it wasn't just Phillips, by the way. It's Phillips, Shaq Lawson, Ed Oliver. It was a lot of the sideline, and apparently they asked security multiple times to get rid of the fan, because he was saying like stuff about their family, saying bad things. Okay, that you shouldn't say. That has nothing to do with
crossing
the line. And they kept warning security to just get him out, and they wouldn't. They didn't. And eventually, I think they just said enough is enough, and they went and got in his face. And I think was it Phillips wound up pushing him, or Lawson? I think
they said Shaq.
Yeah, so Shaq wound up shoving him a little bit. And by the way, it wasn't an extreme shove. It was like
I didn't even see it on the video. I didn't even see it on the video.
I saw it. It was one hand. The guy didn't go flying or anything. So, but listen, if you tell security that they're supposed to take, if a player says this guy's bothering me, or saying, they are supposed to remove a fan, a guy like that. So listen, that's kind of up to security as well. So I don't know what the NFL is going to do. I assume they're going to probably, they're going to get fined. I'm sure Shaq's going to get fined. But suspension, I don't see, because it wasn't anything crazy. He didn't jump in the stadium, up there and start fighting him or anything.
Steve says, Steve, I want to hit Steve's.
Steve, okay.
Yep. If McDermott's not fired, we'll enter next year with an aging team, no money, and an offense with 1-star receiver and a bunch of replacement level players on offense, 3 players on other teams. Here's the thing, Steve. If McDermott's still the coach next year, we won't spend our money on offense. What money that we do end up freeing up will be to buy more defensive players, because that's what McDermott knows. That's what he wants.
Or draft.
Or we'll draft. Because look at it. Look at how the teams are built. Let's just take Philadelphia, for example. They continue building that offense. Yes, they built that defensive line, but they're building most of that through the draft, and then they're investing on their offense.
Yeah.
They're letting defensive players go to continue building that offense around Jalen Hurts, because they have an offensive head coach. You see the same thing in with Sean McVay. You see the same thing with Kyle Shanahan. It's the team takes on the onus of their head coach. Our head coach is defense. That's why we pay so much for our defensive line. That's why we pay so much for our secondary. We're paying outrageous amounts of money for our defense and less on our offense.
Yep.
Outside of Josh and Diggs, they're the only two that are really highly paid on the offense.
And the thing is, we actually need to. We're losing a lot of defensive players, so it's not even really so much that he would have drafted him even if we didn't need him.
Not until after next year, Scott.
Oh, yeah.
Vaughn's by the way, it was a 3-year guarantee.
I agree. I agree with that. You can't just go out and push him. I understand that. He asked the question, and I was giving him the answer. I didn't say I agree with him pushing him. I just think that's what you got security there for. And they do it all the time, by the way. They remove fans that are unruly, so things don't get out of hand. So it did. But it didn't get so out of hand where they're brawling in the stands. It wasn't the Pistons-Pacers game.
Yeah.
It wasn't that dramatic.
If I'm a true Bills fan, the first person I'd want gone is Diggs. That guy's not a team player. See, this is the national media narrative.
Yep.
Stefon Diggs is actually a really good teammate. He's a leader. He's vocal, and he gets pissed off about what's going on here. Yeah. But he called out what all the fans are now pissed off about last year. I wish he would take up Josh's side more, like Josh takes up his side. But they seem to be fine. I don't want to see Diggs gone. Diggs is a fantastic leader. Like you'll see clips of him on game day and stuff from our sideline reporters of how he really is. The national media has this, oh, Diggs is a hothead. He's, about to blow. It's not like that in the locker room at all.
Right. And it's and reality too. And obviously, I know you're a Dolphin fan. There's not a lot, Dolphin fan. I don't expect you.
I wouldn't know about.
I want to know your drama on your side. Mm-hmm. I would only know it by what? ESPN, FS1, Twitter, somebody saying, oh, this. Mm-hmm. So I don't really get involved with that stuff because I'm not going to speak for something I don't know. But I can speak for this for the most part because I know that the issue had nothing to do with Josh Allen. It had to do with the coaching staff. This dates back to the offseason. This dates back to minicamp. Why Sean McDermott sent him home because they got into an argument over who knows what. But I assume it has something to do with what was going to change in 2023, which clearly it hasn't. But yeah, no. Listen, Stefon Diggs, Josh Allen are good, and that I don't think there's ever been a problem there between the two. Now, what Mikey said is correct. I do wish sometimes Stefon Diggs would step up sometimes for Josh Allen when he's taking some heat from his brother or from fans, and he really just kind of stays to the side. That part kind of sucky. I don't like the way he handled some off-season stuff, the cryptic messages, but that's him. That's the way he works. But out on the field, in the locker room, with what matters the most, he's a stand-up guy. He's a hard worker.
And the team loves him.
And the team loves him. So I don't agree with that. You know what I mean? So no, Stefon Diggs has been nothing but good as far as being a good teammate. Has he handled everything correctly? No, but
he handled it the way he wants to handle it, so, he wears his emotions on his sleeve,
right.
And you can see it,
Right. Oh, by the way, Jason, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what's funny, guys, real quick too? My best videos that I do are the ones where I'm like, Sean McDermott needs to be fired. Why? Because that's what people want to hear. People like that stuff. They like the drama videos. Our best video, listen, guys, no joke, and Mikey knows this. Our best live videos, when we go live, do live streams, are after losses all the time.
Or something bad happens.
Or something bad.
Like the
punter, Matt Ariza got released. We had like 1,000 people. It was unbelievable, right? It's what it is. Yeah, the Diggs situation
was sent home.
Yes. So I'm just throwing that out there, guys. That's what it is. It's sad.
It's the media does it for clicks. It's easy bait because Bills Mafia is so passionate.
Exactly.
And Bystock's right. Yeah, Kelly yelled at more people than Diggs ever has. Diggs said, and here's the thing: everyone thinks Diggs was yelling at Josh when he had his arms up. We have no idea what was being said when he had his arms up.
No idea. He could have said, "Don't stop listening to what the fuck he's saying. Just do your thing." You don't know. I have no idea, and that's never gonna get. And I don't even know if Josh heard him because Josh just seemed like he was such in his zone into the tablet. Like I doubt he probably looked up as he was walking away and like, was he talking? Like what? Like I it just didn't seem like he even hear him. Kelly got it more. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yes.
By the way, so did Tom Brady. So did Peyton Manning.
Yeah, so Tom Brady cussed out his coaches.
Right. So guys, this is nothing new. Dan Marino was king of that. By the way, if the Dolphin fans still in here, he threw players on their bus constantly. He yelled at players constantly. Listen, if you ran the wrong route on Dan Marino, he was going to have you hat. He was going to tell you, and he was going to make it known that you fucked up. Like Dan Marino was it was never his fault. Like he was that kind of player.
Let's hit Steve Lynn's comment here. I like this one.
All right, Steve Lynn. Yeah, I got it.
All right, it says maybe we need to cheer for this team to lose. If we sneak into the playoffs, we'll just be getting more of the same, losing the big games and wasting Josh or a chance to get a chip. Here's the thing. I don't disagree with what you're saying. However, I always prepare for the worst and hope for the best. So I am prepared for us to lose out.
Yeah.
I am mentally, after yesterday's game, I've gotten myself now mentally ready to where, like the first half made me buy back in because those damn bastards always. I'm that guy on the end of that fishing pole, like come get it. You know, they rope me back in and then they break my heart every year.
By the way, I do agree with this to a point. I don't know if he's the best quarterback. I think he's the best pure passer I've ever seen. Yes. And that's that. And listen, everyone can have their opinion, and I hate the Dolphins, but I'm also real, and I'll tell you, I saw Dan Marino play live when I lived in South Florida. I went to many Bills-Dolphins game. He was that good. Yes, like pure passer wise, he was the man, no doubt about it. I can't argue with that. So just a heads up, yeah.
Spen's not wrong, and we'll come back to Scott's. Go to Spen's real quick.
Okay, this one.
Yeah, it says Peyton Manning didn't yell. He just stared and pointed. He told guys to get off the field. Get off. And they'd be like, the offensive coordinator, he said, get the hell off my field.
Oh, yeah. and he was the leader.
Austin Collie told that story about, he's like, the offensive coordinator is telling him to go on the field. And he's like, Peyton just told me to get off. And the offense says, go out there. He went to take a step, and Peyton just pointed.
Yep. True. And yes, he's done that, by the way. And he never had a problem doing it. And I don't. You know what? I don't hate that either. But Josh, that's everyone has their. It's not his character, and it's not his personality. True Fin fan. Josh Allen is a great quarterback. The Bills have failed him. If you guys give that guy a running game and offensive-minded head coach, he would have been to the Super Bowl already. And I agree with that. I do. I think
13 seconds.
We haven't had a true running game here since Shady McCoy. Let's be real. Offensive-minded head coach, yes, I totally agree with as well. This, especially in this new era of football, that's where the NFL is going, man. And I think just Sean McDermott's just way too conservative. He's a defensive-minded head coach, and what we get is what you see. So yeah, I agree with that. But what can you do at this? We have no other option.
Let's go back. Let's go back to Scott's.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
We'll come back to that. Seriously, what the F's going on with the refs? I'm sorry I've been watching for 4 decades. I've never seen this way. Is betting ruining the game? It's like a corrupt government. Listen, the refs this has been the worst year for the refs, and it's not just the Bills games. It's not just the Bills games. It's across the league. Like I've watched a lot of really bad. Like I am no dog in the fight. I'm like, how did they call that? What the hell are they doing? Like you can tell it's one-sided, and the issue is the NFL doesn't have full-time refs, which leads to the opening of are the refs, betting on games and fixing games and doing, because they're not employees of the NFL. They have no idea. They need Pat McAfee talks about this a lot on his show. They need to have full-time officiating and have officiating camps to get these guys better.
I agree.
Because it's the greatest game. It's the greatest game. And it's being failed by the officials.
Yeah, and I agree. And by the way,
plays too.
Baseball as well. I mean, I'm not a diehard baseball fan, but baseball has an issue too with umpires.
They're going to a remote strike zone.
Yeah, trying to make themselves part of the game. You know what I mean? It's craziness. But I gotta say, yeah. And by the way, too, we got some comments yesterday about us blaming it on the refs. They clearly didn't watch our show because listen. We brung up the refs. But that is not the reason why we lost this game, guys. Were the refs terrible? Absolutely. But they've been terrible all year. And if you watch this channel, I've been saying it for every game. My God, it was terrible, in the Dolphin-Philly game when they played. It's been terrible all around. I get it. It goes both ways. I'm sure Philly fans are saying, well, what about this call in the game? I get it. I totally get it. But in this game, there were some blatant non-calls and some awful calls that were made by the refs. And believe it or not, guys, it is costly. It does cost points. And they got to get better. And they should be held accountable. So I don't know. But I'm not blaming the refs. I'm just saying the refs need to do a better job. And once again, if you lose a game, whatever fan you're a fan of, let's say you're a Dolphin fan and the Bills beat you, whatever, and there were some bullshit calls against you guys, right? You're going to argue that. You're going to bring it up. So you can't say it's just Bills fans being whiny about the refs calls. I've seen fans all across on Twitter, mad about the refereeing this year. And it's not Bills fans. It's all fans. So I'm just throwing that out there. We're going to talk about how shitty some of the calls were. It's
listen,
part of.
I expect bad calls. The only one that really angered me was when they allowed him to horse collar Josh, because they basically flipped him upside down and threw him on his head. And that right. That Josh has already been dealing with shoulder injuries. I don't need to see Josh ragdolled like that. That's the only one that, like, pass interference, holding, all those calls happen throughout the game. But when you blatantly miss a horse collar where your quarterback, your 6'5", 250-pound quarterback who runs through people gets ragdolled, there's a problem.
Right. Exactly. And by the way, go back to week 1. Chiefs and Lions. The offensive lineman must have been offsides a gazillion times. Holding, so blatant. He's done it multiple times. The Chiefs get away with a lot, guys. So I'm just saying, it's it's wild, the refereeings this year. Yeah, so I'm just saying, I'm not saying it's a Bills thing. We're just pointing out, it's only on us. The refs hate us. It's league wide. It's every game, man.
The Eagles fans were crying about it in the Super Bowl last year. It's bad.
Yep.
I'm glad to see the Bills and the Dolphins are both good again. That I'm not a fan of the Dolphins.
Dude.
But
it was epic.
When they're both really good, they bring back that rivalry. It's always more fun.
Dude, the 90s were it was wild. You remember the 90s? I mean, Dan Marino, Jim Kelly, Brian Cox. The middle finger, like it was a true hate.
Mark Clayton.
It was like, dude, guys. I mean, it was like Michigan, Ohio State for a minute. Yeah. I mean, we hated each other. There was fights. Fans hated one another. Like,
we had Brian Cox's son on our team for a season, and the dad wouldn't come to the games because he hates the Bills still to this day.
Right, it's awesome. Like I do miss those times. You know what I mean? But we're probably getting them back, no doubt.
I love Joe Brady. I wanted when we signed Joe Brady. You can ask Tom about this. I told him, I'm like, this is one of the most underrated signings that we made. Joe Brady is going to be an elite offensive mind in football. And I was excited that he chose the Bills. And then to see Dorsey fail sucked because I really wanted Dorsey to do well. But to see us, promote Brady, I was super excited about, because I have a feeling Brady has a chance to be a head coach in this league. He's learned from some of the greats, including Sean Payton. And the dude knows offensive football, and he's young.
Right. Yep.
I wouldn't mind the Bills firing Sean McDermott and giving Joe Brady the head coaching job. The players love him, and he's a ball of energy.
Yeah, risky because he's young in the NFL, but who knows? But by the way,
a guy that could grow with Josh.
Easy answer. They got Mike Tomlin. He's one of the best coaches of all time.
He's a defensive head coach. The difference with Mike Tomlin and Sean McDermott, Mike Tomlin understands the big picture, and it keeps his hands out of the pot for the most part. And then he gets aggressive when he needs to be aggressive. He plays he coaches to win, not coaches to lose. He'll take the L if he needs to take the L. But there's a reason why the guy never does, because he coaches to win at all times.
Yeah. I mean, look at 2021, week 1 at home against who? The Steelers, who were not a good team that year. We got beat.
They smoked us.
Right.
They didn't just get beat. Why? They smoked us that game.
Right. Because you got a better coach on the other side who was prepared, and he's just a better overall coach. And that is the case a lot of the times when Sean McDermott goes against better opposition, but better coaches. Like, that's why I fear coming up the schedule, guys. You got the Chiefs, Andy Reid. Now, mind you, we have had a little success in Kansas City in the regular season. So it is possible, and they aren't playing their best football. But I'm just saying, Andy Reid is a way better coach than Sean McDermott. The Cowboys coach, that might be.
I like the defensive coordinator. I'm not a big fan of McCarthy.
I was talking about their head coach. Right.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of McCarthy.
Right. The Dolphins coach, I will say right now,
I love him. I like him too.
I do like him,
so
but
quirky.
I don't know if he owns or he is better right now, because if you go record-wise, match to match, the Bills have won their overall against the Dolphins lately, and we smoked them in week 4 after them coming off a high of 70 points. So that I might call it even Steven right now, which is crazy because he's a freshly new coach. He's only year 2, right? Year 2 for him.
Here's the thing about the Dolphins offense. he's really good at scheming up to get Tyreek the ball. Tyreek is most of their offense.
Yeah,
it's Tyreek. They throw 10-yard slants. Tyreek, he runs for like 40 yards. Then they break off a big run here and there, and randomly they get Jalen Waddle. I think they should get Jalen Waddle more involved. They don't, and I think because Tyreek says he's only playing until the end of this contract. That's in 2 years.
Right.
I'd be interested to see what happens in 2 years.
So this is a good comment, and I want this is actually good. So T-Jab coming in, just imagine winning the game at Philly. Everyone would be talking about how the Bills are the preferred favorite to win it all. At this point, just win. Enough with the excuses, go Buffalo Bills. Yeah. So my thing is this. I will ask, if we won that game, are we talking a different way today? Are we saying that the Bills can win it all?
No.
See, I disagree with that.
The national media would be, because that would be the
talking
point.
I'll tell you why. Yeah, I'll tell you why. For me, at least. Because if we're talking, if the game would have been 34-31, we won. Let's just say hypothetically, there was a fumble on the last play and they gave it to us, which they should have reviewed. Anyways.
Or they missed a 60-yard field goal.
Or they missed a 60-yard field goal, right? I would have said, well, awesome win. I love what I saw from you. Want my honest response? Man, dude, Mikey, man, our offense looks so good. Joe Brady, I'm so excited for him. But, man, the defense
crumbled.
I don't know, man. Meltdown. McDermott just didn't seem to know, crumbled again in the worst time. Like I would have still had my thoughts about it, and some of them would have been bad. So no, I don't think we could sat here and say the Buffalo Bills would go all the way. But I would say, if we would have won that game, that teams better watch out, because we're starting to actually play better on offense. Like now teams better be prepared when they play the Buffalo Bills. But defensive meltdowns, I can't say that. Like, can't you know what I mean? Like, can the Dolphins actually be afraid of our defense now that melts down and close? Right.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, now if we would have handled, yeah, go ahead.
Teams should be worried about our offense is starting to click. However, they don't have to, truly fear the Bills, because that defense, you don't know what you're getting. Would me and you be saying we're the favorites? No. But the national media would have been like, "Oh, are the Bills back?" Josh.
Oh yeah, they would have. Yeah, power rankings.
Get in. Nobody wants to play them, and that's would have been the narrative.
Right.
For the content creators who actually watch the Bills, we would still have the same concerns we have today. And the defense melted down. The offense looked really good. Defense melted down. It's nice to see us finally get one of the breaks come our way. Except they made the 60.
I would have still been upset with Tyler Bass missing field goals. I still would have been, by the way, he hasn't played good this. I honestly think he's had a okay year. And for a guy that just got a contract, that's unacceptable. He's missed some key field goals.
Yes,
he's missed some extra points. Unacceptable for a guy that just got paid. Same with Sam Martin. By the way, same with Sam Martin. Both got paid.
2 losses can be accredited to Bass's misses.
Absolutely. A guy makes a 60-yard field goal. You can't make a fucking 40. And the other one, kick it higher, bro. Yeah, still.
Get the ball off the ground.
Right. What are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, that's what we pay you for.
Win or lose, Jalen could play like crap for a half. Josh had to be elite for all 4 quarters. Who's good and who's just J17 dependent. Yeah. But that's the difference, Steve, is they have a deeper team. They have an offensive identity. They have a defensive identity. Their coach doesn't crumble when pressure's on. They can be down in back-to-back games and have no problem.
And they've done it multiple times. Yeah. They've done it multiple times.
If we get down and we are in close games down the stretch, McDermott sphincter tightens, and he coaches not to lose the game.
Exactly. Yeah, he coaches not to lose. Plain and simple. He doesn't go, true fan, Bill's not making the playoffs. Okay. I mean, listen, it's not, I can't say that because the season's not over. Like, I'm listen, but I will say the chances are super slim. So I agree with you to a point, but technically, no, we're not. It still can happen. Yeah. And I'm just throwing that out there, but I'm also telling you that I also watch football games down to 0 no matter what, because I'm a Bills fan and shit just always happens bad. Like, I can't exit the game without it saying 0 on the clock, because you never know what's going to happen. Or I don't walk away from a game also when things seem like, they're over. Like, prime example, the Houston Oilers game in the playoff. And I remember, like, my mom's boyfriend walking away, oh, shit, you guys suck. Because he was a Dolphin fan, and he was loving it. And I'm like, fuck that. I'm not leaving this couch. Right? I'll fucking go down in misery with my team because that's what kind of fan I am. And I'm going to watch this disaster, right? Or I'm going to watch an epic comeback. And I got to live that moment. And by the way, a lot of Bills fans left the stadium and tried to get back in that stadium.
But to answer what he's saying here, good luck. It's not just the Chiefs thing. That Baltimore team is elite. So good luck.
Yeah.
If you feel like this is your year, good luck to you.
Oh, Scott with the Bass's ass. Oh man.
L's versus KC, Dallas, and the Chargers. So at best we end 8-9, which means we draft between 10 and 17. You think we're losing to the Chargers?
Yeah, I don't.
If we lose we lose to the Chargers, they need to can. If he loses that starry ass coach is outcoached by that guy,
or you lose to the Patriots again. Oh, you know what I mean? Was that because I think Mac Jones got benched again, by the way, so I think Zappy will be the starting quarterback moving forward. But if you lose to that team, right, again, then I think that's very a fireable offense, or the Chargers.
Yeah.
So Roy says there's a non-zero chance of Bills. See, that's not true though. Like there is a chance. It's a slim chance though. Like I am being realistic.
That's what non-zero means. That's what non-zero means.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So
That's the non-zero
slim.
Is
all right, slim. That little slim line
is a Greg
Gray
one saying.
The Bills are electric. The Bills are not firing Sean McDermott. Correct. I agree with you. Going to give him one more. I think they're going to give him more than one more year. I'm going to be real with you. I'm definitely not. I'm just saying it shouldn't have been a long time. We all know heartache, man. I lived through it. It's terrible. Mikey, we lose to the Texas State Armadillos.
With that kicker.
Oh my God.
With that kicker.
I will say, I do. Okay. We could definitely win the Chargers game. I think we could definitely win the Patriots game. So there's two. I will say at home against the Cowboys, being a home game, there is a possibility we could win that game because we're at home. I think it boils down to that Chiefs and Dolphins game because I do think we can beat the Cowboys. We've beaten the Cowboys in the past in Dallas, and this time it's in Buffalo. Who knows what the weather's going to be like, right? They're a dome team. So we could be favored in that because of the weather, because we're at home. So I'm just throwing that out there. I would say it comes down. I would say the tough games right now will boil down to the Chiefs and Dolphins. And I will say this too: if the Dolphins wind up winning against Baltimore or Dallas, they would win the East, right? They could potentially.
They would win the East if we falter anymore.
No, but if we
win out, if they beat either the Dolphins or the Cowboys,
right?
They would.
So there's another thing. Let's say they could rest their starters week 18 if they had won the division, and give that game away because
it depends on where they're at in the seeding. If they can't, they can't better.
Well, that's true. You're right. It depends what they think where they're going at that time. You are right, but I'm just saying there's a possibility that could happen. We've done that, by the way. We've rested our starters and gone. So I'm just throwing that out there. We did it.
Yeah, and they, we beat them bad by playing our starters half. But I want to hit Jason's comment real quick. Yes, I will trade Carmen Electra for Bass right now. All day long. All day long. Give me Carmen Electra as our kicker. All day. I love that movie.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
Well,
all right.
I know you didn't I know, by the way, Mikey, NFL screwed Mikey. See, the NFL, the referees are screwing every team this year, and they're also screwing Mikey in his NFL subscription.
Actually, I got it back today.
Oh my!
They finally got a hold of me. They gave me a code, and I finally got it back.
Right. I was about to say
it's been over a month.
They should credit you then. You should be like,
they gave me the code.
Do I get a T-shirt? NFL free T-shirt.
I don't want an NFL Plus T-shirt. I don't want no part of that. I'm not giving them. I'm not plugging them.
NFL Plus hat.
Oh, it's Kathy Ireland. That's right. I knew it was.
What about a free? What about a referee shirt?
It was Kathy Ireland. That's right. I knew it was one of the two. But I love that movie.
Do you have any good, bad, and ugly? By the way, just offhand. I know you didn't get to probably do that because you're
the ugly. Sean McDermott.
Absolutely, dude.
The bad, the defense crumbling. The good, our offense. There you go. Good, bad, and ugly.
That was awesome.
Sean McDermott was absolutely the ugly yesterday. I've never been more down on Sean McDermott than I am today.
Yeah.
You know,
I agree.
I pray to God I'm wrong and he wins the Super Bowl.
Me too.
With the Bills. I pray to God I'm wrong.
Dude, I've
just watched the football for 40 years, and from what I've seen out of him, I don't see how that happens.
Right. Like, I so want fans to come on my channel and just bash us.
Give it to us.
Just be like, you guys are fucking idiots, morons.
I want it all day long.
We told you Sean McDermott was a man, you stupid clown.
Yep.
Like, I'll take it. I'll be like, yep,
give me that,
you're right.
Give me that championship, baby. I'll take it all day long.
Yeah. I'll take it all. Yep.
I hope he proves me wrong. I just don't see it.
Yep. Let's see. Spin. Mac Jones has to have the record for the most starts after getting benched in the previous game.
You know what? I think he overtook Tua.
He might be right. That is wild to think about.
You know,
because he's been benched like 3-4 times.
Tua was the same way that first year. Remember, they kept pulling Tua and putting Fitzpatrick back in.
Who?
Tua and Fitzpatrick.
Oh, you're right. That was wild. And they would bring him in and close games.
They called Fitzpatrick the closer. Like Tua would play 3 quarters, and then the fourth quarter would be Fitzpatrick time.
All right, Fitz, get in there, close the game. We need you, bud. That was crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, true Fitz fans still in here. Nothing has brought me more recent pleasure than watching that cheating Grinch lose in New Ugly Land. Yeah, I don't like the Dolphins because I grew up in South Florida, but I also hate the Patriots as well. I'm starting to really hate the Jets too. Like, I never had a problem with the Jets because they were so bad for so long. But
man, their fans are rough.
But they're rough. Yeah, they're
like brutal. As much crap as they were talking at the beginning of the year, and now it's poor us. No, you don't get to have both sides of the coin, buddy. Sorry,
yeah.
no.
I gotta say, Dolphin fans have not been that bad since starting this channel. I'm just saying, like, a few, but I'm just saying overall, like as far as worst fan base I dealt with personally, I gotta say, I expected because we had that rivalry. I expected the Dolphins fans to be like just on here just troll, but they've been decent.
Well, I think the problem is they really haven't beat us. Like they're better this year. They're better this year, and they have a better record this year, but they didn't beat us. So it's hard to come on and troll someone when you don't beat that team, even if you have a better record. Because although the people that we've interacted on here have actually been really cool, and they come in even when we're not playing them, and they join the chat, much like true Fins fan,
right?
I enjoy other football fans and getting a different perspective.
Yep.
The refs, I can't. I actually believe the NFL's scripted. I don't know. If they've scripted this season, ripping out the Bills fans' hearts, that's just cruel and unusual punishment.
Yeah. I'm from Broward County, Margate, Florida, so it's close to, let's say, Pompano Beach, and then I also lived in Hialeah for a little bit. But now I'm in Detroit. So, but yeah, I grew up in South Florida. I was there for, I don't know, 25 years. I was there a long time.
How's the game going, Tommy?
Oh, I'm sorry. Let's get you an update. So the Bears were up 9-3. Now it's 10-9. Minnesota scored.
Oh, Minnesota came back, huh?
Minnesota scored a touchdown in the fourth. Okay. 2 minutes and 36 seconds.
As Spence says, will the defense hold? They play like the Bills defense.
I know.
Okay, they're 2:36 and they're punting it back. Is this going to be Fields making the game-winning drive?
Man.
You know what? I've heard that more.
Yes, me too.
I forgot about Marty. I looked at him more of the Marvin Lewis.
Marvin Lewis, yeah,
too.
But Schottenheimer
is right, because Schottenheimer got him to an AFC Championship game. Marvin Lewis never did.
Right, but he can never get the ultimate goal.
Yeah, and Schottenheimer kept kept going back regressing every season until they finally kicked him out the door.
All right, so they're punting. So the Bears have the ball.
2:36 left. Yep.
True. No realistic Dolphins fan could talk shit about the Bills. They own us in the 90s. They own us now. Miami's 2-12 in the last 14 against the Bills. There's nothing we can say. Man, I like you. I hope you subscribe to the channel.
I enjoy other teams fans when they come in and they're realistic about football. When they're honest about,
at least, right, exactly.
Trades,
and we're realistic.
Did I say trades from McDermott?
Yeah, I know. And I'm realistic, and I'll say right now, as we speak, the Dolphins right now are a better team right now, obviously, by record-wise and how they're playing this year. You know why? I'll tell you a real good reason why. All the cupcake wins that they had to go against, all the cupcake teams, they took care of business.
Yep.
And they looked good doing so. All the cupcake games we had, we either lost or looked bad doing so.
Yep.
That is the difference of this season. You guys, like I said, you took care of business, and now you have an easy schedule, except for the last 3 games. But you have you've had a relatively easy schedule.
I like Lindsay's question here. She's from Palm Beach, Florida.
West Palm Beach. That was like an hour from me.
Yep. I lived in Williamsville, New York. Who would you bring in as the new head coach? If I got to make my choice, I would probably bring in Ben Johnson.
Absolutely, I'm with you.
He'd be the top of my choice. Mm-hmm. The dude has learned from a lot of really good head coaches, and is a really smart offensive mind. I think Ben Johnson is going to have a very successful opening year, much like Kevin O'Connell did, much like Mike McDaniel did. Those type of coordinators. But Ben Johnson, I think he's ready. I think he's ready to take that next step. He had a chance to go last year. He chose not to. He was looking for the right situation. The issue becomes if we don't get rid of McDermott this year and we wait and say give him another year.
Yeah, he's going to be
again. A lot of those guys are going to be gone, and Ben Johnson may be in LA next year with the Chargers.
Right.
I
agree. And you don't. Sometimes you can't let a good thing pass, man. Sometimes you got to make. Sometimes you got to make that tough decision. I think that's what the Pagulas are going to be faced with at the end of the season. If things don't go, if things continue the way they're going. Megan says she's not ready to give up on McDermott. You got to keep faith. Listen, I always keep faith. I always keep faith in general because I'm a Bills fan, and of course, like no matter what, until it's over officially, I'll still keep faith. But I'm not telling people, I want to make this clear. I'm not telling people because I believe I'm done with McDermott that you have to be done with McDermott. I'm just saying, in my personal opinion, that McDermott's been here 7 years. And as we go on, how long, the question is for you, Megan, how long is enough for you to say, okay, we need a change? 8 years, 9 years. You get where I'm going with this? Because we could sit here and have the same conversation next year in week 12 when we're not playing good either, and you can't come up here and say we got to keep faith. You get what I'm saying? Like we can't keep that fan base.
I've kept faith since our AFC Championship game, and every year we've taken a step back.
Yep.
And that's my biggest concern.
Super chat by Ed. Great show as always, man. Hey, I appreciate you coming on. Appreciate the super chat as well.
Trek asks, would you bring in Reich as OC? No, I would not. If we make the change and we give Ben Johnson, whoever Ben Johnson wants, I'll roll with because I'll trust him. However, I like what Joe Brady's doing. I would like to see Joe Brady stay if possible. I think that guy's a super smart offensive mind.
I want to see the rest how the games go. I got to be honest with you. I agree with you to a point. I think. I've been a fan of Joe Brady
since his LSU days.
No, and I was a fan when we hired him. When he was here with Ken Dorsey being an assistant, right? I was a fan of even Mike Shula coming because of the experience and what they've done in the past. But I just need to see more before I jump to that conclusion. You get what I'm saying? Because I also thought Ken Dorsey.
I get it. What I'm seeing Joe Brady do reminds me so much of what they did at LSU is why I believe it's sustainable. And Beth, thank you for your service. teachers nowadays, they're hard to come by. So I appreciate what you do.
Absolutely.
I think McDermott, it all depends on if we can come back this season. We'll see. My biggest concern is we squeak into the playoffs.
Right.
And we get bounced in the division round again. And they're like, well, he made the playoffs with a bad season, so we're going to keep him for his whole entire contract. It's like, oh.
Right.
Either I want us to get hot and win the freaking Super Bowl, or I want us to lose out so they can finally get rid of this dude.
Right.
Because doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting a different outcome is the definition of insanity.
Yep. And like I said, it's tough. And I'm sure it's tough on Mikey because of what he's done for this team. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. Like, I get where people are coming from because we've lived through that drought. And it's like, man, how can you say this about a guy that's done this for this team? I get that argument. I do in a way. But you also got to live in the now. Yeah. And the now is he's 7 years in. Yeah. And it's just not, he's reached a ceiling.
I live in California. I've seen the Golden State Warriors. They pulled the plug and went and got another another head coach to take him to above. Mark Jackson was fantastic. He built a culture. He drafted the guys. They recognized that he wasn't going to get them any farther. So they moved on and brought in a new coach. That's what I need our owners to do. Realize, okay, it's 7 years now, and we're not moving forward. We're actually moving backwards. Recognize maybe he's hit his ceiling. Look at Andy Reid. Andy Reid got fired from the Eagles because he kept moving back. So they finally had to let him go. And then he went on and won a Super Bowl somewhere else. Maybe that's what Sean McDermott has to do. Absolutely. Maybe it just isn't in the cards to win it here.
That could be true as well. But a lot of the times that always doesn't work out that way.
Yeah.
But I could also tell you, look at the Jaguars. Right? They fired their coach after 1 year. They bring in a much better coach who won a Super Bowl. And look at that team. Look at the night and day, the Jaguars, right?
56 seconds, they're down on the 12.
Look at who else? Look at Toronto Raptors. They fired a coach of the year. He won a damn award for being coach of the year and got fired. And people were like, oh, I can't. What's going on? And they won a championship the year after.
Dungey and Gruden. They fired Dungy. They traded for Gruden, and they won the Super Bowl the next year.
Won a Super Bowl. So that's my point. That's where we're going with, guys. It's not the end of the world, and it's not a bad thing if they get rid of a guy that's done well. But we just know he hit that brick wall, and we have to move on. It's okay, man. It's like having a car that you loved, it's treated you well, but now it's running like shit. And every day you're taking it to the mechanic shop. You're not going to be like, well, this car's treated me good for so long. Yeah. I'm just going to keep throwing money into it. You're going to probably go and get a new car.
Oh, so, I don't know if I can handle Belichick being in Buffalo.
I know. I would not want that.
I don't think I can handle that.
I wouldn't want it anyways. I'll be honest with you. I don't want Belichick here.
By the way, there's
what's going on here?
55 seconds left in the game. And the team just got a penalty. They're getting ready to score.
No fucking way.
Yeah. They've drove down.
Yeah, they're at the 2nd and 6 ball on Minnesota 9 with 53 seconds. So they're probably going to how many times? So Minnesota has one timeout left. It's second down. So they can run one more run, which I'm thinking.
How many times is
Baltimore? They're going to run it. I'm guessing.
Not
right?
Baltimore, Chicago.
Yeah, they're going to run. They're
kneeling it. They're kneeling it.
Okay, either way, they're going to kneel the ball here. So they're going to force. They're going to force Minnesota to take one more timeout. They have one more timeout.
Yep, and then they're going to kneel it.
Yep, they're going to kneel on 3rd down.
Take it all the way down. Call a timeout. Bring that field goal kicker out.
Yeah. So if they're field goal, they would have to miss a chip shot, guys.
Like it's like a 20-yard field goal.
Right.
Harbaugh. Here's the thing, Sal. I don't want Harbaugh. Harbaugh is a unique individual. It would take. I don't know Harbaugh and Bean would mix. Harbaugh, wherever he goes, he's in full control. I want no part of Harbaugh. He's a. You talk about a guy who, who has to have his way or the highway.
Yeah,
that's Harbaugh.
You know who he's a lot alike? He's a lot alike the Alabama coach that coached the Dolphins. Yeah. Who quit on the Dolphins. Remember? He's like, it ain't for me. He was a terrible NFL coach, but he knew that he could run things in college. Great college coach. And I think that's what Harbaugh likes college. He likes being in charge. Also, they pay, bro, big time money when you're a good college coach on a good team. You know what I mean? They're going to pay you big bucks. Way different than the NFL.
Oh, my God, he missed it.
Get out of here.
Oh, my God, he missed it.
No. Did he?
No. Wait, it says 3rd and 8. No, they showed one earlier. It was an earlier
kick.
you
son of a bitch. All right.
It was an earlier kick that he missed.
You were hyping it. He hit it.
Well,
12-10.
I looked down.
Mikey's trying to.
No,
Mikey's trying to.
They haven't kicked it on my side. They haven't kicked it on my side yet. They should, like, when I looked down, it showed that he missed it, and it was an earlier kick that he missed.
Okay.
I'm like, are you serious? He missed it? He made it?
He made it, by the way. Yeah.
You know me, I'm always about 15, 20 seconds behind.
Spin. By the way, Spin calls me out all the time when you're not here and I'm doing like a solo. And I'm like, this guy loves it, man. He will correct us on every wrong. I just happened to look
down.
Spin. Like every.
Oh, that was right down the middle.
Bro, you know
12
not. You
men on the field retry.
You were not. Bro, I did the live pregame Mikey show, and I said, because bro, I don't know what was happening with me last week, but I was just like out of it, and I said, Philadelphia's going to do the Kush push, right? And it didn't even register that I said the Kush push, and Spin's like the Kush push, and I'm like, holy fuck, dude, I'm so out of it, dude. Mikey didn't even hear what I said, guys.
Sorry. The Kush push?
Okay.
The Kush push?
I said the Kush.
I was reading the Eye of the Moments.
No, it's all right. Don't worry about it. I forgive you. I know when you're not paying attention.
Oh.
I'll put it
going to be our Mike Boldenhoser. That's a good one. If McD was the head coach only and Leslie Frazier was still here, and turned in that game, there would be calls, you know. Here's the problem, guys. McDermott has fired everyone he could possibly fire, you know, to be the scapegoat.
Mm-hmm.
There's nobody
left. Absolutely. There is nobody else to point the finger at, guys. This is
no Harbaugh. I like Johnson.
he can't even point the finger now at Joe Brady. I mean, he can't. Yeah. Like, he's the interim offensive coordinator. Like, it has nothing to do with this offensive.
I guess he can fire Smiley finally. The special teams.
He can, but Smiley deserves to be fired.
Yes,
Let's be real.
He's only here still because he does the game day stuff. So McDermott can be and he doesn't have anybody else to do the game day stuff.
But he also should have fired OG Bobby Johnson way earlier. He took forever to fire him.
No, he didn't even
fire him. I don't even think he fired him. You're right. He just left.
Yeah, he left. He left with Dayball.
You are right. Which, by the way, thank God. Thank God, because we got a good offense.
I like Cromer way better.
Cromer's actually good. Like, Cromer knows what he's doing.
Yep. When you finally give him guys that he can work with.
Right. Oh, well, there's a penalty? Are you serious? So a ball on Minnesota 34. So the game's not over, by the way.
Oh, I wonder if they call horse collar? Because the guy grabbed him by the back?
I don't know. So let's see here. Santos kicked 69 yards, Chicago 34 yards. So right now, no, the game's over. Chicago won 12-10. So Minnesota was playing well, and then that's what happens. Chicago, see, we say any given Sunday, but today was Monday, so I guess any given Monday.
They're 6-6 now.
Yeah, 6-6.
Minnesota.
Yeah.
That happens.
Yep.
I know another
Chicago's a 4-8. So I don't want to hear no Viking fans coming on here talking trash. All right.
We were all out after.
Still don't like the decision to kneel with 20 seconds left.
It drives me crazy to think about. It pisses me off.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier. It's unacceptable. It's Sean McDermott once again playing scared football. No balls, just playing not to lose. And here we are at 6-6.
Yeah, Steve. The Jordan Mailata, the tackle for the Eagles, came out and said, "Well, we knew exactly what defense they were in. When they gave us that look, we knew we were scoring the touchdown." Like, that is being predictable.
By the way, Mikey, I think I set a record for F-bombs on my video today. I must have said 20 to 25. And I was just like, I couldn't stop. And you know, I've been so good up until lately with cursing. Remember, I really slowed it down.
Yeah.
And this year, I am throwing more F-bombs out the last 4 or so, 5
McDermott
games.
brings it out of you.
He absolutely does. Boy, you guys watch out. And I'm trying not to. I don't want to get demonetized.
Oh,
McDermott's going to mess me up.
Yeah. How do we get a flag during a commercial break? That's a great freaking question. A phantom flag.
I even messaged you. What? And by the way, they never showed a replay.
No.
On that. Even the commentators are like, okay.
They're starting at the 5. I thought they were starting at the 20. They got a 15-yard penalty.
Apparent penalty? What?
And you want to know, and you know what sucks? We drove 50 yards and then the drive stalled. If we would have taken it to 20, we could have kicked the field goal.
I'm sorry. I would still like to know
what was the penalty.
Right.
And was it, you know what? I'll pull up my all 22 and I'll look, Tommy.
Please. What is going on here?
They said it was a face mask on one of our on the return. Okay. The flag didn't get thrown until it went to commercial.
So did they we start walking off the field and they happen to look up and saw it on the Jumbotron? They're like, oh, wait a minute.
True fan. True offense fan, good night. And yeah, I understand just wanting to win the ring once. I get it.
Hey, I appreciate you subscribing as well. Yeah, I appreciate you, man.
All right, Tommy. We've been here for an hour, boy. We need to wrap this battle
up.
Long
time. This is probably one of the longest Monday nights we've done in a long time. And it's actually, for as mad as we were, it was actually fun. For as mad as we are, the chat kept it going. We had a lot of new people in here tonight. We really appreciate you guys, but we do have some bad news. We have some bad news. We're not going to be here for Friday Night Lights because it's a bye week, and we're taking a bye week. So I know you guys are going to miss us. I get it. Right. So, but I will say this. So tomorrow at 7:30 is Nuclear Heatwave Wrestling for anyone that likes wrestling. And then I will still be doing videos throughout the week. So you'll get to still hear me talk and rant and be on my soapbox. Thursday, Mafia Means Family podcast will be on. They should be. And that's at 7:30. And then obviously Friday we won't be here, but Saturday at 2, Mikey will be back for fantasy football. Yeah, Fantasy Kingdom. And then obviously the AFC East Shakedown will be on my channel. And boy, that won't be fun. So anyways, that's the lineup.
Zappy's starting again.
Yes. Hey, what did I tell you about Zappy?
No, Tommy, you talk a lot. I doubt this show is the longest. It might be the longest for a Monday night.
No, it's one of the longest we've done on a Monday night in a while. We try to get through because we do them late. We try to get through about an hour 10. But we just, by the way, tonight was all about you guys. Like, we had nothing with just a rant. We were just ranting on, like, you guys kept it going. So we were just reading off your chat. So, it was you guys. But yeah, I love talking. So yeah. So anyways, guys, Mikey, appreciate you as always, man. It's been awesome.
I appreciate
the chat,
our therapists that are in the chat helping me, bring my zen back because I was hot coming into this tonight. And I feel better.
Yeah, I do feel better.
All right, guys. Better.
So, Bills Mafia, we love you, and as always, go Bills. We're out of here.
Go Bills.
Peace.
And look at him go! He could go all the way! Touchdown! Touchdown! Touchdown!
The Bills make me wanna shout. Kick your heels up and shout. Throw your hands up and shout. Throw your head back and shout.
You're fired.